Thank you. Yeah, hey everyone. I'd like to call this meeting on the special commission on state institutions in order. My name is Matthew Blatt, so I should have said that first. I forgot to do that. My colleague Emily should be hopefully joining us in a second as the other co-chair. As usual, I like to let everyone know the commission meeting must follow open meeting law. Any votes taken will be during a roll call. We'll call it, list each other's name, do a roll call. Please make sure you mute yourself. Only unmute yourself when you're speaking. Before speaking, please state your name, which I did not do. Sorry about that. So everyone knows who is talking. We hope everyone had taken a moment to review the agenda. These items will be discussed today. I believe I saw Evelyn jump on. So make sure everyone can participate. We have CAT services supporting our meeting today. These are captions to help people follow the session. If you need help turning this on, please let us know. Or more importantly, Jen or Emily. We ask that you speak in a non-rush pace, which I'm not doing right now. I'm sorry. And provide yourself with a brief pause for the CAT to transcribe to write what you have said. We ask that you speak with few acronyms as possible. Do so will help all participants to understand important information that is shared here. Emily and I will try to remind folks of these items I just mentioned if needed during the meeting to keep us on track. When we end this meeting, we'll have notes made available based on what we talk about today. The meeting is being recorded and the videos are available on the Commissioner's National page and on YouTube.
I'm sorry.
Emily,
Is it my turn?
Yeah, your turn. Sorry about that. I thought
Sorry. Sorry.
Matt.
Welcome. Did we do the welcome already?
Yep. So we're at introductions. If you want your introduction paragraph.
I'm sorry.
No,
Good afternoon, everyone. We would like to call this meeting of the Special Commission on Institution in order. My name is Evelyn Mateo.
Evelyn is back. Sorry about that. I always said that. So you want to introduce a new commission member on the second page?
Okay, thank you. Sorry, guys. Since our last meeting, we have a new commissioner member appointed, Sister Linda Bissum, who is a family member of a current resident of the Hogan Development Center. Sister Lisa, would you like to introduce yourself?
There we go. Yes, I am the guardian of my sister Mary, who has been at Hogan since it began. So many years ago. And I'm open to learning as well as seeing what we can do and work together on improving the quality of life at all of our state institutions. Definitely respecting the individual basic human rights and human dignity of each person. Thank you. Glad to be here.
We also have Julia O'Leary from Mass Office of Disability, who will be attending the meeting today as Mary is unable to attend today's commission meeting. Welcome, Julia.
Hi, good afternoon.
We would like to invite Emily from CDDER to provide a high-level recap of our last meeting before we vote to approve the minutes.
Thank you so much, Evelyn. I'm here to recap, especially since we have a new commission member and some guests with us today. So at our last meeting, our team, which is the Center for Developmental Disabilities Evaluation and Research, introduced ourselves and we talked about how we're going to support the work of the commission going forward. The commissioners agreed to form 3 working groups to focus on details of what they're tasked with doing. There's one working group that's going to focus on the existing records from institutions and the request process for those records. There's a second working group that will focus on where people are buried who died while living at institutions. And a third working group that will look at a framework for public recognition, which might include services or a memorial. The commissioners also discussed the Boston Globe article about papers that were left at the Frenhold Institution after it closed. These papers had details about people who lived there and their health. The commission voted to draft a letter of inquiry about how this happened and what will happen going forward. We'll talk about that letter today. CEDAR also shared with commission members what we've learned so far in each of the 3 areas of focus of the working groups. We talked with commission members about the need to define the word institution for their work and to clarify what will and will not be included in the work. We also discussed some of the things we plan to do to support the commission and got input from the commissioners on the next steps of work. And that's my summary. Thank you.
Thank you, Emily. This is Matt Millett again. Before we dive into this afternoon's discussions, we had to vote on minutes from our last commission meeting back in June. Draft copies of the meeting minutes were emailed to members last week. Does any members have suggestions to changes to the minutes? If not, we can proceed with votes. As usual, or like usual, we will be conducting a roll call vote. So everyone, please unmute themselves. Everyone will call out the names to do a roll call vote. I can't talk right now. Sorry. Do we have a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved.
Alex, you say who we are. Sorry.
Oh, sorry, this is Alex. So moved.
That was you, right? Sorry, I just wanted.
It was correct. Thank you.
Sorry. Do we have a second?
This is Ann, I second.
Thank you, Anna. Yeah, now I'll do, I will call the roll. I can't talk right now. I'm sorry. I will call the names to do a roll call vote.
Alicia.
Hi, is it Elise?
Elise.
Okay,
Yes.
Elise is here. Say hello, Elise.
Hi.
Kate Benson,
Yes.
Sister Linda Bissum,
Okay, because this is my first meeting, I am going to abstain. Thank you.
Reggie Clark.
Yeah.
Ann Fettrich. Ann. Alex Green,
Yes.
Rena. Kelly.
Yes. Yes.
Andrew
Yes.
Visper,
Yes.
Julia,
I wasn't at the last meeting, so I will also abstain.
Julia O'Leary,
Oh, can you hear me? This is Julia. I'm also going to abstain because I wasn't at the last meeting.
Brenda, Connors,
Oh,
You
now
there,
wait,
Brenda?
hold-
Yeah. Okay, do you approve the minutes? Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Connor, Mary, Lucian, Matt,
I vote yes.
and myself, I vote yes. Did we miss anyone?
Thank you, everyone. The minutes are approved. As a reminder, the copies of the approved minutes and all the materials from our commission meetings are available on the commissioner's webpage.
We would now like to invite CDDR to share updates on the PowerPoint templates that the commissioner's YouTube channel.
Thank you, Evelyn. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Christine Roa, and I'm a project manager for CEDAR. Today, I'll be showing 3 PowerPoint template and logo samples that we created for the commission. The first sample, which is on the screen, has a white, yellow, and blue color scheme. The background color of the slide is mainly white with a yellow-shaped design applied to both sides of the slide. The slide text is blue. It also has a logo located on the bottom left-hand side of the slide. The logo is in the shape of a rectangle. Inside the rectangle, it has the acronyms for the commission, the letters SCSI in large yellow text, and next to the acronym, it has the title of the commission. On the bottom of the rectangle, it says the word Massachusetts in blue text. The second sample also has a white, yellow, and blue color scheme. More than half of the background color of the slide is blue, while the other half is white. The text in the blue half of the slide is white, and the text on the white half of the slide is in blue. The logo, which is located on the right-hand side of the slide, is a blue rectangle, and inside the blue rectangle is the title of the commission in white text. On top of that rectangle, there is a yellow and white icon shaped like a teardrop. Next to that icon, it has the word Massachusetts, and underneath it, it has the acronym for the commission. And just to mention that the teardrop is in yellow and white, in case I forgot. The last sample and the third sample is very similar to the first one, but instead it has a white, red, and blue color scheme. Once again, the background is mainly white, and there is red shapes designs on the side of the slides. The logo found on the bottom left-hand corner of the slide has the commission's acronym in large blue font, and next to that font, it has the word Massachusetts spelled out, and underneath the word Massachusetts, it has the full title of the commission. Thank you.
And just as a reminder from our last meeting, these are 3 examples that we had put together as commissioners wanted to see how they might brand the commission different than the generic template that was used for PowerPoints for the meetings. That is a state template. You do not need to have your own branding if you don't wish to have it. And you can tell us that you like one of these designs. You can tell us that you like none of these designs, and that's all okay. This was just put together as a service to give you some examples of what a template could look like for your commission if you'd like to have your own.
Is there any discussion on the PowerPoint templates?
Okay. Okay,
My
if there's,
question is, are we gonna be voting on this now, like whether we want a logo? Or I just, I just wanna get clarification on what we're gonna do with this information. Sorry, this is Rania Kelly, I forgot to say my name.
This is Emily. I think we were hoping to create some space just for discussion, so commissioners can say if they like the idea of having a template, if they like any of the templates, if they'd like to change something. So this would be kind of a period for commissioners to talk with each other about what they've seen.
Okay, this is Rania Kelly again. I'm indifferent as whether we have a brand or not. However, out of the three, the one I personally prefer is the one you have up for the visually impaired specifically, because I can't remember what the first one looked like. Mostly because of contrast reasons, usually, yeah, if someone has low vision, I think the third logo is the most optimal for those who have low vision. Because of contrast, usually yellow against white does not work. Yellow against like a black is high contrast. But so I think visually with this one, I think it's a little hard to read. Like right now I'm looking at on my phone and I'm struggling to read even though I don't have visual impairments, but if someone did, I think they would struggle with that logo. The second one, the tier, I actually like this logo. My only issue with it, again, is the yellow against the white background for those who have don't have great vision. That would be difficult for them to see. And so that's why I personally prefer the third one, just because A, there is no symbol, and B, it has the highest contrast.
Linda?
Yeah, thank you. Let's see. I hope I'm unmuted. Let's see.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was wondering why the teardrop? Where does that come from? And if you had not said that it was a teardrop, I would not have known that, because it looks more like a flame to me. So, yeah. Okay.
so our designer didn't really have any justification as to why they chose that icon. And I do agree with you. It does look a little more similar to a flame, but it is in the color of yellow and white. But we can make that simple color adjustment that Rania stated.
I like the third one.
Yeah.
Just like, right, it sticks out, it pops up, and it's easily to see from any aspect.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Hello, sorry, I was gonna say hi, Vesper speaking. I was just gonna say I like the third one as well. And if there was significance or reason for the second one having that teardrop and or flame that we end up deciding that we enjoy in any way, we could incorporate it in the third one with a different color scheme. But I think the layout for the third one is personally my favorite.
Thank you.
Me too.
Would you like us to try to incorporate that flame or teardrop in a darker color into this third template and come back to you? Or would you like to just pick a template as it is?
I would stay away, this is Rania Kelly. I would stay away from iconography like the, or symbols like the teardrop flash flame. I also thought it was a flame. Just because A, it does create confusion, and B, I almost hesitate to brand ourselves with imagery because we don't know where we're gonna go with memorializing the institution. The branding might come out of that, so I'd rather stay simple with just text, but that's my personal preference.
Okay, I would, this is Emily again. I would just ask our chairs whether they would like to hold a formal vote on this or not.
I mean, if everybody else would like, we can vote. If not, we can wait till the next meeting. Matt?
Hi, this is Matt. I would like to be a little different from the regular website. So I personally like the third one with the pink background, and I don't care for the flame either. I like plain and simple. But that's my opinion. Does any other members have any opinions? Elisa, Kate, Alex, Drew? Let's try to make a names Connor. And we had suggestions. We don't have to change it, but if we want to, we can.
This is Andrew Lebrall with the DPPC. I'm really indifferent. I'll support any of the templates that people agree to. I do like the third one.
Yeah, me too.
So would we vote, Matt? Could it be a vote today or not?
Someone had to make a motion first, I believe, then I'll have to do it. Reggie, how do you feel about this?
It doesn't matter too much template. I would like mine. I would like it very simple, like the rest of them would, keep it simple until we know where we're going.
Good.
Does anyone make a motion to change one of the temples, or we can just I don't know how to say the right word, push it back to the next meeting to have more time to think about it?
Vesper speaking. I'll make a motion.
Oh, this is Matt speaking. Sorry, Vesper, what motion would you like to make? To accept the third one or to push it back?
I'd like to make a motion to formally vote on the third one.
Thank you. So the motion would be to vote on a third slide, which is the pink basic one, to have it as a new template. Do I have a second?
This is Kate. I second.
Thank you, Kate. So I'll do a roll call vote. Yes, we'll accept the third slide, which is Chrissy, can you describe that again? Sorry.
I'm sorry?
Can you describe the slide, what it is?
Sure. It has a white, blue, and red color scheme. The white background, it has a background with predominantly white color, and on the side there are some shapes in red on both sides of the slide. The text is blue font.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So, Emily, want to do a roll call vote on the names, please? A yes or no vote.
Alicia, is that how you say it?
Elisa Arone, she's here, right? Just take a second for her.
Yep, sorry, my
worries,
hand's
thank you.
far from the mute button. Elise, would you like this background? Yeah. Okay.
Kate Benson,
Yes.
Sister Linda Bissum,
Yes, please.
Reggie Clark,
Yes.
Anne Fratchett,
yes,
Alex Green,
Yes.
Rena Kelly,
Yes.
Andrew
Yes.
Vesper,
Yes.
Julia O'Leary,
Yes.
Brenda Rankin,
All right, Brenda, would you like that background? Yep, okay, thank you.
Connor Snow,
Yes.
Mary Louise White, Matt,
I vote yes.
and myself, yes.
Thank you, everyone. So we'll have that
Welcome.
slide up for the next meeting. See, will take care of that, please. Thank you. Since our last meeting, the special commission, they have been very. Sorry.
My apologies, Matt, but
Sorry.
I do have to give a update on the YouTube channel.
Oh, yeah.
My apologies. So just so everyone knows, Cedar has created a YouTube channel for the commission, and we've moved all videos that were previously hosted by the Massachusetts Office of Disability into the commission's YouTube channel. All full commission meetings that have been recorded can be found on the commission's website or on the commission's YouTube channel. Thank you, Matt, and my apologies for interrupting.
No, my apologies, is Matt, for cutting over you and not reading my template. Sorry about that.
You're fine.
So since our last meeting, the special commission, there have been very important news articles that have come out about institutions in Massachusetts. Some of the articles are about Bridgewater State Hospital, which is a correctional institution for people with mental health conditions. There were 3 articles in the Boston Globe in March related to the conditions at Bridgewater State Hospital, including how patients at the facility are being treated and the conditions of buildings at the facility. The Disability Law Center recently released a monitoring report about the lack of progress of improvements at the facility in Bridgewater. It recommended that operations of the facility be transferred from the Department of Corrections to the Department of Mental Health. There was an article that discussed how the conditions at Tewksbury State Hospital are being affected by the number of patients that had transferred from Bridgewater. Tewksbury is another state hospital that has a section for people with mental health conditions. A copy of the articles were emailed to members on Tuesday afternoon. Hopefully everyone had a chance to read it. We want to share the articles with the commission and see what people thought. Are there anything the commissioners like to discuss about the Bridgewater and Tewksbury State Hospitals?
This is Alex. I'd like to say for folks who may not know what Bridgewater State Hospital is in particular, because it is a correctional facility right now. So it could be seen as a kind of prison, and it is for people who have been sentenced for crimes or held by the government for crimes. But it does have a lot of ties to the other state institutions that we are looking at. So a few months ago, when Emily said we should be considering and thinking about what we want to define as an institution, this one is going to be a little bit weird for us to look at, but in its history, it actually took a lot of people in who originally were at the state schools, like the Belchertown School, Rentham, or the Fernald, and also at state hospitals like the Metropolitan State Hospital or the Northampton State Hospital. So it is kind of part of that history and part of that network. So I just wanted to share that. Otherwise, just the articles make me very, very sad and upset to read.
This is Matt. Thank you, Alex. Anyone else have any, like, even thoughts about how sad they made the articles feel or anything like that? If not, we'll move on. Evelyn, please.
Since the last meeting of our special commission, there were also been developments regarding the Fernald State School. There was an article in the Boston Globe at the end of February that discussed the desire of the people who lived and worked at Fairfield to have a say in what should happen to the grounds as it was redeveloped. There was also an article written by the Globe editorial board published in the Boston Globe on January 30th as a follow-up to the January 10th article that talked about the city of Waltham letting the buildings on the former grounds of the Federal State School to fall into disrepair due to neglect. There was a radio interview on WGBH regarding access to the records of former residents of the state school by family members. A copy of the articles and link to the radio interview was emailed to members on Tuesday afternoon. Hopefully, everyone had the chance to read it. We want to share the articles with the commission and see what people thought. Reggie and Alex were quoted and interviewed for the pieces. So I'm not sure if they want to share anything. Do either one want to share something?
Well, as I said before, you know, it's important that they do something for the people that were there. Because I feel as though that we were the ones who were there and we should have the same. Families that had their loved ones there should have to say how they want it and what should happen.
Yeah.
Not the city, not the state, but the people that live there. They should have an article there or museum to show people what it was like and talk about the history of it so people can understand what it was all about. Thank you.
This is Alex. I'll just say Reggie says it better than me every time, so I'll let Reggie's comments stand. I have nothing to add.
Okay, DS also sent out a notice on the HIPAA data breach at Fairfield. A copy of the press release was sent to the commissioners members on March 12th. Hopefully everyone had a chance to read it. Emily and Cedar has some things she wanted to talk about regarding the press release.
This is Emily. Thank you, Evelyn. I wanted to just take a moment to explain what was in that notice from DDS and why it was sent. So on March 11th, DDS released this notice. It is required by the HIPAA law, otherwise known as the Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act, that when a group who's responsible for people's health information learns that it has not been protected as required by the law, they have to issue a notice. And that's what DDS did. In the notice, DDS confirmed that there were records that were not secured that had people's names, dates of birth, diagnoses, or the names of the conditions they had, other medical information about the medications or prescriptions they took, and other treatment information. There may have also been social security numbers on the records, but it was hard to determine. The notice said that DDS doesn't know of any times that this information was used in ways that it should not be. It said that people who lived at Fernald should watch their accounts, their bank accounts, for any changes they don't recognize and call their bank if they see anything like this. DDS also gave a phone number for people to call for questions. They gave an email address and a mailing address that people can use to talk to the DDS privacy officer. They also shared a website with more information.
Thank you, Emily. We also have Victor here from DDS who can provide us with an update on everything DDS is doing to help.
Thank you, Evelyn. Yes, just to quickly recap, and again, this is something that we'll continue to work on. In January, as you mentioned, we discovered that some of the buildings located at Fernald Developmental Center contain the documents relating to people who were served by DDS, us, as well as the records of some of the DDS staff as well. We worked with the City of Waltham to conduct a review of any accessible buildings that we could on the site. Accessible means that we could walk in safely. There are still some buildings where it's very unsafe to be in. We worked to locate whatever documents we can find and to remove any that we could. We quickly found out that the condition of the documents and the extent of some of the information that were there is private, but not fully known what all of that was. And they did contain personal information. Within the buildings, the state of the buildings, as I said, many are unsafe, and also where the documents were located, along with the documents themselves, there was the presence, we found very hazardous materials, very unsafe, that our staff, it was unsafe for our staff to go into the buildings and to retrieve those materials. So we contracted with a vendor who specializes in hazardous cleanup. Those are the folks you see with the hazmat uniforms and air machines and a lot of very protective gear. These are professionals at it, and they're very good at their job. So we contracted with a contractor. They went in to whatever buildings they could and retrieved all the paper. They didn't stop to see what they were. Anything that was a piece of paper, like we talked about before, they gathered. That work was done on March 7th, about 2 weeks ago. All the documents that they collected are currently securely stored at a DDS facility. And we are working with the state archivist and the Secretary of State's office to get their recommendation on what kind of requirements we have to follow to keep them and what to do with them. So we're still working with those two offices. But right now, whatever documents could be taken that we contracted with this vendor are securely stored at a DDS facility. And as Emily just mentioned, we immediately also recognize our obligations under HIPAA, and we provided the public notice on the website and press release, which we sent to all major media outlets to let them know that what the information was there, as Emily mentioned, and also to if anybody wants information or has any concerns, particularly those family members of those who were there and individuals that were there, that they can contact DDS. So that's the current update we have on these records. But again, we are still very focused on this, and any further updates I'll provide to the commission at a later date. Any questions? Comments? Then co-chairs, I think I'm done then.
Thank you, Richard.
Sure.
This is Matt again. The next item, on the next item on the agenda is a report for work groups. We have 4 work groups. One is a letter of inquiry. One of the records and record process. Third one of burials and burials location, and the fourth one of framework for members. The work groups are still looking for additional members, so if you'd like to participate in any of the work groups, please email the SCSI support email address, and the signature will share the date of the next upcoming meetings, which is after this meeting in mid-April. We encourage all members to at least try to join a group. It's not mandatory, but it'd be helpful if you could, because there's a lot of information out there about it.
And we would now like to invite each work group to share reports on the work they have done so far. Reggie, could you please give an update on work group one?
Yep.
No.
Let me know when you're
Um,
ready.
One letter of.
Well,
That's okay.
me and Janet talked about the letter that was going to be sent to the governor to look at and everything, and talked about a little bit about it and what was details in it and what some people wrote down for it, you know. So we talked a little bit about the letter and stuff like that, at that last meeting.
Reggie, this is Jennifer. Do you want me to just go over the 5
Yeah.
requests
Yes,
in the
please.
letter? And the commission members should have received a version. And thank you, everybody, for sending your edits, and those are getting incorporated. Basically, the work group identified 5 things to ask for. One is to look for any remaining records at the closed institutions. And that includes, all the DDS facilities and also DMH facilities. The next request is to address any record security issues that may have been identified while looking through those closed facilities. The third is to develop an easy to follow process to make record requests. The fourth was to create a clear process for how confidential records are stored and when those records are allowed to be destroyed. And the fifth request is to provide a list of records that may be stored at facilities or any of the government offices that are still in operation. The letter requested a preliminary response in 90 days. Thank you.
A draft of the letter was sent to all the commissioner members. We hope you had a chance to review it. Does anyone of you have questions or comments on the content of the letters?
This is Alex. I wasn't sure if this was best timed for here or before with Victor's remarks, but DDS has been very forthcoming about how they are handling this, and I know that the letter is intended to see what is going on statewide. Part of the reason for having the commission is obviously to help things move along more quickly because they can go across many agencies. I'm just wondering, we haven't heard anything from the Department of Mental Health, and I believe our member who serves as their representative is not here and has not been here recently. I'm wondering, in the past, there was a counterpart for Victor on the DMH side, and if they are able, I know we are time limited today a little bit, but if they are able to just give us a quick sense of whether or not something similar to what DDS has encountered at the Fernald exists in any of the former facilities, current or former facilities on the DMH side. Again, I'm sorry, I don't know if that's appropriate here or if I should have said something before, but I am very interested in getting a quick sense of that earlier than the formal 90 days. Is there a representative from DMH here today? I see. Well, I'll leave that. If I can turn to our CEDAR team on that, I would love your support in looking into that, but I'll let things move forward on the letter itself and just register my deep concern about DMH's commitment to this work.
Can we proceed with the vote then?
This is Rhonda
Matt.
Kelly. Sorry.
Sorry, no, go ahead, Ms. Kelly, sorry.
This is Rhonda Kelly. I was just wondering, in regards to DMH, do we want to reach out to them to make sure there is a representative at these meetings? I am more asking than like putting it out there.
I agree with you, Regina, because not to have their voice is really not good. And I think whoever is named to come from DMH, if they can't make it, they need to send an alternate person because this work is so integral and very important. Otherwise, we're not going to be able to get answers to our questions. So that's what I would recommend. That's just Linda Bessam.
Hi, everyone. This is Gabriel Cohen. I want to weigh in with two quick updates. One, Mary Louise White, I'm not sure why she's not able to attend today, so apologies on her behalf. I want to point out that she sits in a seat as an appointee of the governor, so she's not able technically just to pass off her seat off to somebody else. She doesn't have that ability just to pass off the baton, if you will, to somebody else. So again, I'm not sure why she's not able to attend this afternoon. So I just want to provide a quick bit of clarification there. And then regarding Victor's counterpart, if you will, at DMH, he wasn't able to attend. His name is Jay. He wasn't able to attend today. He's been called into jury duty. So just a little bit of scheduling issues, but you know, we can certainly follow up with Jay and provide whatever information you need.
Given this is Alex, given the slew of articles and issues going on, Gabe, this needs to be better. And I'll just, I'm sorry to be so blunt, and I'm sorry if that comes across as disrespectful, but this needs to be better. There needs to be planning for that in advance, and this cannot happen again. We're seeing a stark contrast between what DDS is doing and DMH's engagement on this, or lack thereof.
This is Rania Kelly. I love to always give people grace, and you know, I always assume best of intentions before I start saying anything negative. I would like it, and I'm not sure who would move forward to communicate to DMH that, you know, we totally understand there's jury duty, someone's sick, but that there should always be some sort of representative, just so it doesn't
Yes.
hinder our progress. Excuse me. That's it. Thank you.
Yes, I agree. Linda.
So as usual, we'll be conducting a vote. So if everyone could please unmute themselves, we will now call the names.
Edwin, this is Matt. Sorry. We need a motion first to approve. If everyone, if no one really wants this letter to go to the correct people, we don't have to do that. But if we want to send this letter to the governor and all the her counterparts, then we need a motion to approve the letter, then to approve and send it. Oh, the same motion. Sorry.
This is Kate. I move to approve the letter of inquiry.
Thank you, Kate. Is there a second?
This is Ann. I second it.
I second it.
Thank you. Thank you. And Reggie, 2 seconds too late. Ann beat you, so that's a second.
Yeah,
Now I'll do a roll call vote. Yes, to approve the letter. Agree. No vote. We do not want to send it. I'll read off the names. Elise, do you approve it?
You approve it, Elise? I approve it. Thank you.
Thank you, Elise. Kate,
Yes.
thank you, Kate. Sister Linda,
I apologize. I have not read the letter, so I'm going to abstain as a result of that. But certainly this approach is critical. Thank you.
thank you, Sister Linda. Reggie,
yes, I approve.
thank you, Reggie. Ann,
Yes.
thank you. Alex,
Yes.
thank you. Miss Kelly,
Yes.
Drew.
Present. Yep.
Sorry.
I vote present.
Thank you, Andrew. Vesper,
Yes.
thank you. Julia,
We're going to abstain.
thank you. Brenda,
You want to send the letter, Brenda?
Yeah.
Yep, thank you.
thank you, Brenda. Connor,
Yes.
thank you. Mary Lou's not here. I vote yes. Evelyn,
Yes.
thank you. Thank you, Evelyn. The motion is approved. Emily, let's just say that's.
Let's hear from the remaining group shops on the status of their work.
Hi, this is Alex. You've heard enough from me, so I will be somewhat quick with this. The records and records access group has met, I think, a couple of times now. Cedar has done an enormous amount of work in a short period of time trying to come at this very large issue, which seems to have so many parts, and it's really impressive. We have, in the meetings, we have discussed the different legal views about how the public records law is handled, which makes certain records available or not to people when we have privacy issues around medical records, like discussed before. Cedar is exploring partnerships with, I think, at least 2 law schools for assistance in doing this research, including the Harvard Law School and I think Suffolk Law School. And if you have ideas for areas where they could be helpful to us, please email the commission address. And we've discussed what laws are being considered, bills are being considered in the state regarding the public records law and what can be made available versus what is not. That's important because it will help us know which information on the history of the state's facilities can be released and which cannot, and what can be looked into and how people get access to things. The next steps that Cedar and the Records Committee are looking into are understanding better which records the state has to keep and which ones they destroy, because after a certain amount of time, a lot of records are allowed to be destroyed. So which are kept and which are destroyed. And they're also looking to interview people, and they're going to start doing interviews with people like the Supervisor of Records, the Division of Open Government at the Attorney General's office, and people who have been trying to access records about their experiences of exactly what that has been like for them, so that we understand better what regular folks who have connections to the facilities, whether loved ones or they themselves lived in one, what they face when they try to get records. So a lot going on. As with all the committees, anybody who wants to join, please, we all, I think on all 3 committees, need all the support we can get, but it's exciting and it's just great to see this work moving forward so well. So if there are any questions, I'm happy to try to answer them if I can. All right, thank you so much, everyone.
Kate, could you give us an update on workshop of the burials and burial locations?
Absolutely. This is Kate. The burial group discussed what we already know about the status of existing cemeteries and burial locations. There is a list of all of the existing cemeteries that we are aware of and institutions that have cemeteries that are either actively being cared for or not. In having that discussion, the first thing that we have decided to do as a next step is to create a gap analysis, figure out which cemeteries are being cared for and which are not. There are some cemeteries that are in such disrepair that we may even have trouble locating where some of those burials are. We plan to go through and look at what some of the ideal situations are and what those ideal cemeteries have, and then use those categories to kind of almost grade the other cemeteries to find where all of the gaps are, and where we can best figure out how to fill those gaps and start memorializing more of the cemeteries. Another step is to request the current burial practices from active institutions. There are institutions that have cemeteries that are still in use. Some of them are in use in strange ways and have been combined with Department of Correction cemeteries, or they are part of town cemeteries where other burials have happened. So looking for what those burial practices look like, and what burial practices are looking like coming out of the institutions such as Rentham, Hogan, that are still open, what's happening to residents that are passing away in those institutions. And finally, to continue interviewing key informants, folks who are involved in caring for and memorializing the cemeteries, and also holding memorial events year after year in some of these cemeteries, and those who are responsible for the burial records themselves. And again, as Alex said, if there are questions, I will do my best to answer them.
Hi, this is Matt. Does everyone understand what the gap analysis is for this location? Because that's a decent word. Just want to be sure everyone understands what that is. Does everyone have questions about that? No, not that I can answer them, maybe someone else can.
Matt, do you want somebody to provide more detail about what a gap analysis is?
I know if everyone understood, sorry, this is Matt, if everyone understood what a gap analysis is, because I kind of don't, so.
My explanation was very cursory. I don't know that I fully understand what it looks like.
It'll put this back. It's probably take a while for it really to explain what a gap analysis is, but I know if it will need like a 2-minute or a minute overview of what that is in case everyone does. So.
Linda has her hand up.
Yes, I am really surprised that there are burial locations and you don't know where they are. That is wow, regretfully. And definitely, how do you get to the bottom of that? If that's what the gap analysis is, that should be a priority to actually locate where those burial locations are, and somehow that it be the conditions of these locations need to be looked at and noted, really, you know. I'm really dismayed at hearing that. Thank you.
So this is Jen from Cedar. Just to speak to the gap analysis, it would be going burial or cemetery by cemetery to identify some basic things that we would expect if a loved one was being buried in a cemetery. For example, we would want to know, are there grave markers? And do the grave markers have the person's name or their date of birth and date of death? You know, is the site well cared for? Is it overgrown, or has it been landscaped and is maintained in a dignified manner? So there's a few things that the work group wants to put together and then go through each of the known locations to really kind of figure out where there are some places that are well cared for, and where there's places where we need to maybe advocate for some additional work, or potentially funding or something to bring that burial location or cemetery up to really a minimum standard of what we would expect of anybody being buried.
Absolutely.
Did you still need a definition of what SWOT analysis is? This is Rania Kelly, sorry.
I think it was gap analysis. Rania.
Oh, I thought you said, okay, sorry. I thought it was SWOT analysis. Got it.
No, yeah, so it's Matt, it's Matt analysis. My Boston accent is really bad sometimes, and that is one of the words, the G words I can't say. Sorry about that. So
And then Rita, could you give an update of the framework for memorials?
Was I gonna do the update? I can't remember. I thought someone else was.
Yes,
It's you.
Rania, please.
Oh, I was. Okay. Can you put up the points? I mean, I can free ball it, but I thought you did come up with points, right?
Yeah, the slide is up on the screen if you can see that.
Okay. Thank you. I'm on my phone, which is part of the problem.
Sure.
Okay. So we discussed the mission and vision and goal of the remembrance. We discussed examples from Massachusetts and from other states. We discussed the possibility of partnering with architecture or design programs from local universities. And we decided what next steps would be. And I don't know what the last point is, actually, the next steps. Can you explain that part?
So the work group talked about having a presentation from the Belchertown State School Friends Association about the work they've done to memorialize the folks who lived and died in Belchertown.
Got it.
That would be Kate Benson's nonprofit.
Yeah, so we had a lot of good ideas and we, didn't want to reinvent the wheel. We also don't want to limit ourselves. And it was a great discussion. Any questions?
thank you, Ms. Kelly. And no other questions, so move on. I think in our final minutes, we want to just remind everyone that we have scheduled the next full commission meeting for Thursday, May 30th at 3 p.m. And then we have another meeting scheduled for the full commission on Thursday, July 18th, also at 3 p.m. Hopefully everyone, that works for everyone. We gave you a decent amount of time, so if everyone had questions before then, feel free to contact the email and we can try and get it sorted out. If there are no other items to discuss, is there a motion to adjourn?
Excuse me, co-chair, this is Victor.
Hey, man, sorry, Rich, I didn't see you here.
No problem. I just wanted to, with the next meeting on May 30th, every Memorial Day weekend, not weekend, the day or two before, DDS has remembrance celebrations at the Belchertown State School Cemetery and the Munson State School Cemetery. Chances are, and I attend both of those along with the commissioner, and chances are there might be a conflict. I'm not too sure, but if there is, I'll definitely make sure that that is taken care of. But also I wanted to let you know that we do that. We've done it every year, rain or shine. And when the notice comes out, I'll make sure I'll send it to Cedar and make sure they send it out to the commission members so they know. And it's an open event. The public is invited, and it's very moving, touching. We invite family members. We invite individuals who were residents there to share their stories, and nothing else. We just tell the family members that their loved ones are still loved and remembered. So anyway, there might be a conflict. If there is, I'll definitely make sure somebody's in my space, but at the same time, wanted to make you aware, and I'll send the notice out when I receive it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Oops,
Victor.
sorry.
Thank you, Victor. This is Matt again.
Thank you.
Anyone else have any questions, comments? Actually. Thank you. If not, do I have a motion to join the commission meeting?
I'll say yes.
Thank you, Reggie. Do I have a second to adjourn?
Rania Kelly seconds.
Thank you. Emily, would like to read a roll call, vote, please?
Alicia? Elise? Kate?
Yes.
Sister Linda?
Yes, and I appreciate the invitation to belong to one of these working groups. I guess my question is, once that is decided, do they meet in between our board meetings, or how does that work?
Hi, this is Matt. Each work group is different. Some meet every 3 weeks, every 2 weeks. Whichever work group you want to join, email Sita, and they'll have a next meeting out for you.
All right, thank you. I appreciate that. This being my first time participating, that helps. Thank you.
Reggie?
Yes.
Ann?
Yes.
Alex?
Yes, and welcome, Sister Linda.
Oh, you're welcome.
Rena?
Yes.
Andrew?
Yes.
Mary? Vesper?
Yes.
Brenda? Connor?
Yes. Yes.
Matt?
Yes.
And myself, yes.
Emily, I saw Julia in place of Mary. Did she vote?
Yes.
Thank you. Sorry about that. So thank you, everyone. The meeting is joined. We'll see you at work group or next full commission meeting.
Thank you. Take care.
Thank you.
All right,
Thank you. Take care.
thank you.
Much for meeting.